Australia is changing fast. For decades, if you wanted opportunity, you moved to Sydney or Melbourne. Maybe Brisbane if you liked your sunshine served with lower house prices. But now, the map is shifting. Australians are quietly packing up, ditching the capital cities, and heading for places once considered sleepy, regional, or just too far from the action. But here's the twist. These towns are becoming the action. So if you're wondering where the next housing boom might be, where the jobs are going, or where to move for a better lifestyle without sacrificing your income, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into the next booming towns in Australia. What's driving the growth? Who's moving? And which towns are on the rise right now? Let's talk numbers. Let's talk trends. And let's talk future. First, a little context. Why the boom is shifting. Australia's population is set to hit 40 million by 2060, according to the Intergenerational Report. But Sydney and Melbourne are already choking on growth. Skyrocketing housing prices, congested transport systems, and soaring living costs. In 2023, the median house price in Sydney was $1.6 million. In Melbourne, around $1.03 million. The average Australian salary, just $95,000 a year. See the problem? In contrast, regional Australia is starting to look like the land of opportunity again. Property prices are cheaper, lifestyles are healthier, and governments, both state and federal, are pouring money into infrastructure and economic development. The pandemic was a catalyst, but it wasn't a blip. The working from anywhere revolution stuck around. And now even large corporations are open to regional HQs. What are the signals of a booming town? It's not just about a sudden spike in population or a few new housing estates popping up. A truly booming town is marked by deep and sustained transformation across multiple fronts. You'll see rapid infrastructure investment. Think upgraded roads, hospitals, rail lines, and digital connectivity. There's also job creation driven by both public and private sector growth, with industries diversifying beyond traditional sectors. Property prices in these towns often begin to outpace national averages, a sign that demand is growing faster than supply. Importantly, these towns attract increased migration from metro areas as people seek affordability, space, and better work-life balance. And the livability factor improves too, with access to quality schools, healthcare, and amenities that make daily life easier and more enjoyable. In essence, these towns aren't just surviving, they're thriving. And they're pulling in people who might never have considered regional life just a few years ago. So here are the top 7 booming towns to watch. Ballarat. A gold rush town back in the 1800s, Ballarat is experiencing what many are calling its second coming. But this time, it's driven by people, infrastructure, and opportunity, not precious metal. With a current population of around 120,000 and steadily growing, Ballarat has become one of the most popular regional destinations for former Melburnians looking for more space, affordable homes, and a better lifestyle. According to CoreLogic, the median house price in Ballarat reached $590,000 in 2024, with a healthy 12-month growth rate of 9.5%, well above the national average. Strategically located just 90 minutes from Melbourne, Ballarat is evolving into a viable commuter city, with fast rail upgrades on the horizon. This, combined with major public and private investment, like the $541 million redevelopment of Ballarat Base Hospital and expansion of Federation University, is fueling job growth in health, education, construction, and manufacturing. It's not just retirees or families moving here either. Young professionals and remote workers are also making the move. ABS data shows that over 3,000 people migrated from Melbourne to Ballarat in 2023 alone. That's more than a trend. It's a significant shift, and one that positions Ballarat as a serious contender in Australia's next wave of regional growth. 2. Toowoomba. Known as the Garden City, Toowoomba is blooming in more ways than just its famous parks and flower festivals. With a population now exceeding 180,000, it has become one of Queensland's most dynamic inland centres, growing steadily in both size and economic significance. The median house price sits at around $520,000, with an impressive annual growth rate of 10.8%, signaling strong demand and rising confidence in the region's future. Toowoomba is increasingly seen as a key logistics and transport hub, thanks to major infrastructure developments like the Toowoomba Bypass and the privately built Wellcamp Airport, the first new major airport in Australia in decades. But the game changer is the Queensland government's $1.3 billion inland rail project, which is expected to turn Toowoomba into a critical freight and logistics link between Melbourne and Brisbane. Beyond transport, Toowoomba's economy is well diversified. It's home to the University of Southern Queensland, a growing healthcare sector, robust agricultural output, and a notable defence presence. This mix of education, industry, and logistics is fueling job creation and attracting both young families and professionals from Brisbane and beyond. With all the ingredients of a self-sustaining regional economy, Toowoomba is well on its way to becoming one of Australia's next big inland success stories. 3. Albury-Wodonga. Yes, it's technically two towns, but Albury-Wodonga, the twin city straddling the Murray River between New South Wales and Victoria, is punching well above its weight when it comes to regional growth and potential. With a combined population nearing 97,000, this border region is emerging as a standout example of how strategic location, smart investment, and industry diversification can reshape a region's future. Median house prices sit at $540,000 in Albury and $500,000 in Wodonga, and they're rising steadily, with a combined annual growth rate of 8.6%. But property prices are just one piece of the puzzle. Albury-Wodonga is becoming a powerhouse in healthcare, education, defense, and logistics. The presence of Australian Defence Force logistics hubs brings long-term jobs and economic stability, while education is booming. This region boasts one of the fastest-growing regional university enrollment rates in the country. Crucially, Albury-Wodonga is attracting a broad demographic mix, from young families looking for affordability and opportunity to retirees drawn by lifestyle and healthcare access. That kind of balance is rare, and it points to long-term, sustainable growth. With cross-border infrastructure investments and interstate cooperation gaining traction, this twin city is proving that regional Australia doesn't just survive, it can thrive. 4. Launceston. Everyone talks about Hobart when Tasmania enters the conversation. But Launceston? That's the real sleeper hit quietly making big moves. With a population of around 75,000 and rising, this northern Tasmanian city is emerging as a powerhouse of regional innovation and livability. The median house price sits at $485,000. But what really stands out is its 11.2% annual growth, one of the strongest in the country for a city its size. In recent years, Launceston has undergone a remarkable but under-the-radar transformation. The catalyst? The University of Tasmania's new $300 million city campus, which is reshaping the local economy by bringing in students, researchers, and fresh investment. That educational boom is spilling into adjacent sectors like health and fintech, driving job creation and economic resilience. Tourism, meanwhile, is making a strong comeback post-COVID. Launceston's burgeoning food and wine scene, proximity to natural wonders, and emphasis on culture are drawing visitors and new residents alike. Add to that the growing trend of climate-conscious migration, where Australians are relocating to cooler, more stable environments. And suddenly, Launceston is on everyone's radar. It's no longer just a pretty town near wine country. It's a rising star in Australia's regional resurgence. 5. Mildura. Often overlooked due to its remote location on the edge of the Murray River, this rural Victorian town is quietly emerging as one of Australia's most surprising growth stories. With a population of around 60,000, Mildura is no longer just a farming town. It's becoming a hotspot for innovation, investment, and lifestyle change. The median house price is a very affordable $440,000, and prices have grown by 9.1% over the past year. An impressive figure for a town that once flew well under the radar. What's driving this boom? Agriculture still plays a central role, but the real game changer is renewables. Solar farms are springing up across the region, and Mildura is at the heart of the Victorian government's Sunraysia Renewable Energy Precinct. This has created a surge in demand for skilled workers. Electricians, engineers, technicians, and tradespeople are being snapped up quickly. But Mildura's appeal goes beyond jobs. Thanks to remote work trends and a growing FIFO, fly-in fly-out, community, people are now choosing to base themselves here for the lifestyle, space, and affordability. Why pay city prices when you can own a home, have a backyard, and still plug into the national economy from a thriving regional center? Mildura is proving that the future of growth isn't just coastal, it's solar-powered and inland. 6. Geraldton. You might not have thought about Geraldton since Year 8 geography class, but this coastal city in Western Australia is quietly stepping into the spotlight. With a population of around 40,000 and a median house price of just $380,000, Geraldton is offering what many West Australians are now desperate for: affordable coastal living, economic opportunity, and room to grow. Property prices have surged by 10.4% in the past year, and it's not hard to see why. Geraldton is strategically positioned as a deep-water port town, an essential link in WA's mining and export supply chains. This has attracted major investment in logistics, defense infrastructure, and renewable energy. The city is now playing a growing role in Australia's national security and clean energy transition. A $332 million port expansion is currently underway, which will supercharge the local economy by boosting trade capacity, attracting new industries, and creating jobs across logistics, construction, and maintenance. As Perth's prices continue to soar, Geraldton's combination of affordability, lifestyle, and economic potential is capturing attention from both investors and migrating professionals. What was once a dot on the map is now shaping up to be a serious player in WA's regional future. 7. Dubbo. Dubbo, often dubbed the gateway to Western New South Wales, is quietly transforming into a mini economic powerhouse. With a population of around 55,000 and rising, this regional center is attracting both investment and people at a pace rarely seen in inland towns. The median house price is currently $460,000, with a solid annual growth rate of 8.2%, reflecting increasing demand from buyers seeking space, affordability, and opportunity. Dubbo's growth is fueled by a mix of health, agriculture, public administration, and a rapidly expanding energy sector. A major hospital upgrade is underway, boosting healthcare services and creating jobs, while the local airport is booming, connecting Dubbo more effectively to Sydney and beyond. Private investment is also pouring into nearby mining and renewables projects, creating a steady pipeline of employment. The NSA's government has recognized Dubbo's strategic potential, earmarking over $150 million for roads and infrastructure. As more professionals make the move, the city is also evolving culturally, becoming more cosmopolitan with new cafes, services, and educational offerings. Dubbo is no longer just a rural service center. It's a regional city on the rise. Now let's talk about who is making these towns boom. According to ABS internal migration data, more than 73,000 people moved from capital cities to regional areas in 2023, a net gain for the regions. The top migrants? Millennials in their 30s chasing affordability and work-life balance. Retirees looking to downsize and escape metro living. Young families seeking space, safety, and community. Remote workers leveraging location flexibility. And here's the kicker. Over 35% of remote-capable workers say they would relocate permanently if their income remained stable. The appetite is real. People want out, but they're not dropping out. They're moving into towns where opportunity still exists. So what's driving this new regional boom? Infrastructure spending. Billions are being invested in regional road upgrades, hospitals, rail links, and internet access. From the Regional Australia Institute to the National Cabinet's regionalization agenda, regional development is no longer a backburner issue. Housing affordability. When you can buy a house for $500,000 instead of $1.5 million, you get a life, not just a mortgage. Industry decentralization. Governments are moving public service departments into regional towns. Private companies are opening new distribution centers outside cities, and hybrid work has made it viable. Quality of life. Less traffic, lower crime, better schools, clean air. And yes, parking, actual, free parking. So if you're wondering where the future is headed, start looking outside the big smoke, because it's already happening. And the earlier you see the wave, the better your chances of riding it. Thanks for watching. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on Australia's economic and housing trends. Where do you think the next boomtown will be? Drop your pick in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think.